About to be transformed to the next level. Enjoy amazing features with the new DTT decoder by XCAF. Watch television in high definition and excellent sound quality. Watch Gambian channels such as GRTS, QTV, Star TV, Paradise TV and MTA with one decoder, all for free. That's not all. For a monthly subscription of $510, you get 60 international channels from your favorite football leagues, news, African movies, telenovelas, cartoons and much more. Get the decoder for $2,040, which comes with free installation, 24/7 customer and technical support all year round, and 1 month free subscription for only $510 thereafter. Get the decoder at XCAF Gambia, located at Hendon Court Building, former Dream Park, Senegambia, or through approved dealers. For more info, call 446-1060 or 446-1061. The world is at your fingertips with the XCAF DTD decoder. Hello Gambia.
Waja soppeeku bu baax XCAF Gambia ñoo indi DTT decoder yu bees di ngeen ci am GRTS, QTV, Star TV, Paradise TV ak MTA te doo fay dara. DTT decoder yi ñaari junni ak ñeent fukki dalasi rek la mooy jar. teg ci dinañ la may lu tollu ci benn weer di nga seetaan yeneen channel si biir àddina si te doo fay benn xaalis. waaye boo bëggee continuer seetaan lu weesu juróom benn fukki channel da nga war a subscribe maanaam weer bu nekk di nga fay juróomi téeméer ak fukki dalasi rek nga seetaan football leagues yépp si àddina si, news, African music, telenovela film yu neex, music, cartoon pour xale yi ak yeneeni channel. kon nag gaaw leen gaaw jënd DTT decoder sa XCAF showroom ba ca Senegambia fi Dream Park nekkoon mbaa seeni agents yu nekk ci biir réew mi. call leen 446-1060 446-1061 ak DTT decoder addina bi mu ngi si sa cati loxo yi. ni ngeen di seetaane
télévision do ender leydi ndi odon waawi hebde dum no jidi don ni weltare e DTT decoder kesso pulmo XCAF antani won de teleji gondi do ender leydi ndi ko wayno GRTS, QTV, Star TV, Paradise TV e MTA. dido teleji fof ngoni koy decoder goto te on jobata hen haydara. mbimi minen XCAF min kaadani ton tan temede joyi e bussapo lewru fof jobata keba chaneluju capande jeegom gondi caggal leydi ko wayno football leagues, kibaruji, African movies, telenovela, cartoons e goddi. decoder men on no weebi hano fewi ujunaje didi e capannay tan jobata bandirabe. kala cadele de kebdon ko minen garata min fewna non ha mojja te min kokkon lewru mo ganduda on jobata kadi. kono so on lewru yewti mon ko miso yobde temede joyi e bussapo lewru fof. odon bawi hebde decoder men di to XCAF Gambia, Hendon Court Building to Dream Park Senegambia wonno. wala kadi odon bawi noddude men e 446-1060 wala 446-1061. mbimi bandirabam so tawi ko e XCAF DTT decoder njugi don aduna fof woni koy nder juude mon. onon gambinabe mbimi joni kala ko fate fannu television do e nder leydi ndi odon wawi hebde dum no jidi don ni weltare e DTT decoder kesso pulmo XCAF antani won de teleji gondi do e nder leydi ndi ko wayno GRTS, QTV, Star TV, Paradise.
Supersonic's money transfer is giving you an unbeatable offer.
Ready to proceed with the next witness.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, Mr. Saidykhan.
Afternoon.
I hope that you had a relaxing break and you got to recuperate a little bit.
Yes.
During the last session, you told us a little bit about your own unique experiences working at the State House. As convoy driver, motorbike escort, as well as MTO, which is the motor transport officer.
Kabribe convoy motoborindo la wato me ibe escort rider la kata hanfo wato me inata ke motor transport nyato ko to wala marta motol kunyala je.
You had the opportunity to work directly on the Yaya Jammeh, and you were able to tell us what that was like.
Silo soto kadu ko ke Yaya Jammeh fongo bala akoto bitu odo ko be nyamen ila londo yemen je yo fanan fo nyenne.
Yes.
We concluded the last session when you started telling us about the speed at which the convoy would usually travel and actually how Yaya Jammeh directed that process personally?
Na kachala banta damin janninga da hala wala convoy min boro men kata speed men katala ko bitu famu kultile alonko Yaya Jammeh famu bulo ba kono le convoy ni speed men kata.
You would tell us that
yes.
if he was unsatisfied about the speed of the convoy, he would say, move out, move out. What did that mean, move out?
Because ni boro la wanya misali kama convoy ni boro men bitaka speed ni amanyabo asafo move out ho koto wala akawo fo mune kama
wala ye lab sikola fa nandra be kata 100 later 120 or ya lafa above 100. That is to say that they should increase their speed. If they were running at 100 kilometers per hour, they would make it 120 or even more.
So the convoy was traveling at top speed on the roads.
Amunta convoy indal anim burbala kata borome yalonko wala sembo warta
Bakede, babakede. Very, very well.
Can you tell us what the views of the drivers were who were driving this vehicle at such top speed?
Ako driver manu bun katara wori burbala convoy yinkono wulu ila jero nata ke muneti wo burba fasogol la karola.
Ndefo katara jele de jannimbe kala MTO katara convoy driving yala ko kan katara sila din fanyala dom because wodo kan alaman tangala nin koku keda don ete fan control no la kan ete modo control no la nin fen kuntude nyaado o yemmo hit ete modo control no la because katara very top speed. I was there amongst them before I went to MTO. We were always scared of ourselves because at that speed, whatever cross your way, you cannot control the vehicle, or if you hit something, you cannot control your vehicle.
And can you tell us what difficulties that presented?
And after between burba we do tembeda mento.
Did it cause any accident?
I mu koleale sabu na ta accident lu sabu ne bang.
Accident sabu kende kede. Yes, it caused accidents a lot.
And before we go into the particular accidents that it caused, can you tell us any other reasons why accidents were caused during the convoy?
Jannin da dun accident lu ni fengu kono fe sa fe ni nyene dalilu lu mene ya sabu wo accident lu dun soton da convoy la karola.
Overspeeding katara jele. One of the reasons is overspeeding. Ani nabe ni mosquito faila ani t-shirt beka cause beka exam costly. And also when we throws out biscuits and t-shirts, that also used to be the cause of the accidents.
Who are you referring to?
According to
Yaya Jammeh.
What other instances?
I find you kola kudo ka sabu la bang.
Ha stampede nana fana soto dale ala to kono dal. Yes, there was also a stampede in one of his stores.
And can you tell us more about these particular accidents? How frequent would you say they were?
According accident lu ka keteng kabula nyolo manyame akak abuka fama bang fo wati lem akake.
Kombola any movement dala la movement jama ba exam ka soto jela. In most of the movements of the convoys, there are usually accidents.
Is that normal? Did that happen in the previous government, for example?
Ako fo mukulu Kenya leti mansakunda fulo membe jenu jangate na fo fanan wala watu wala convoy ka nyo accident soto le bang.
Jawara ngota say that 4 years mbodo dal or 5 years, but namna accident moje. I witnessed that of Jawara. I was there for 4 to 5 years, but I never saw such accident. And in present government fana mbo fana kombo kono about 3 years, panan lunkile namna any accident moje dal. And also the present government, I am in the convoy for almost 3 years, but I have never seen any accident. Because president anamana diam kombo la movement dal. Ndunga nam overspeeding anamna mo advise overspeeding. Normal speed don kata wala. And the current president does not interfere or tell people anything about the convoy. And he does not even encourage anyone for overspeeding. So we usually drive at the normal speed.
Can you tell us what the reason was behind this overspeeding during Jammeh's convoys?
For isa for ni la mule dun ka overspeeding burba lan na tambri musabu convoy ni na karola brin Jammeh be mansala.
Who fulalam dal? There were two issues. Doni nga kasile for time seat. Karo doto ntolka combo don le combo katalon na 3 hours or 4 hours. Combo be stand by the babadika. Sometimes he will wait until it's close to his time then he will start moving. Sometimes we'll arrange the convoy for between 3 and 4 hours, and it will be there standing waiting.
When he was ready to move out, basically he would be running late for an event, and therefore you would have to hurry up and get there.
Amunda wala mindi tumudu ngata pareta purkata anyanda tala kumeno katarle watu silang adbeteta alafta tarde la purkata okodo falanka sabule puru buriba.
Waka sabule. Yes, that was one of the reasons. That time kasi already, because the time would already have reached.
Would you say that the ex-president was concerned about the safety of convoy members as well as his own safety and the safety of road users?
For isini follow na kowoto atabin kemira convoy kono molu la tankola le bang wala atafanya la tankada wala molu mo kota mulu katara silo kan follow la tankada fatim kemira wala
abu kemira wala da kado axon kita wada ka kala ngal dal ni speed men kata falo no speed min dal sada ko no manya na kalaje was ka wesul kata futabo ko do convoy ka bolo ngi namna lo yitra silo la saito convoy ni tambila dal na tamide la kete fon segle dal so that means speed mean afon ka kala mudala ko speed be kere na kan.
Well, the overspeeding happens because, let's say, for example, between Westfield to Tabokoto on that way, when the convoy passes you, everybody will know that they are going at top speed, and he's aware of it, he knows. So even if the convoy passes anybody on the roadside, that person will feel the speed that the convoy is going with.
Just taking that as an example, that particular road is a very narrow road, in my opinion. I mean, what were the safety concerns going on such high speed on such roads?
Ako silo fanu mandam foten silo amo fanu bake. Yo so sila muna kakede ndati ni membe borikan sila faso kan wo bori bala na tambirula.
Wala ka accident jama cause dal. That was the cause of many of the accidents.
And can you tell us, giving examples, how some of these accidents were caused, some of the victims who were involved?
So, do fanye je itela jero to accident luka kenyameng anin accident aka kemenu la silo kawonya ila accident in Kenya for ise femfo no nyotole.
One man witness the woman ke okay other places no lembot Tabokoto to Lamin no but wato mantara system okono dal. Those that I witnessed happen in other places, but between Tabokoto going towards Lamin, those ones I got to hear them. As buffer zone, the same thing. Akeda buffer zone of another long overspeeding more below slow karatandala or mantaraje, but yola funyaning kata towards Lamin, assuming fanakda Lamin, ofanakeda the same thing it dal. The buffer zone, there was an accident. People were standing at the side of the roads, and the accident was caused by overspeeding. And also in Lamin, where another incident took place.
And apart from the overspeeding, if people were standing by the side of the road rather than on the road, would you not say that it was caused because the convoy was also moving off the road?
Ako ni buri lang na tambiru menka kete nka accident sabu. Ako fo waira katarle mulu belori sila jenje wale kang. Imantara silo kan oto musafo no ko motolu ni fenula munta ikaborle fo silo bula sila jenye ma mulu la no dulato motolu ka mulu dul tara wo no dulale to mem manke beddo fo kande
Lamenta costa wala nyama ngam yo fo wala nyama abu buva zone go ngam ya tebe obe cross kane bal lamenta nyindal oh, I am a site below Silo Kandung. The incident in Lamin was caused by that. The accident was caused as a result of somebody being knocked at the side of the road. But the one at the Bova zone, I was told that someone was crossing the highway.
So the convoy was not actually following traffic rules and regulations?
Munda convoy wari musafo ko imantara trafiko la sarto lualu local.
No, they were not following those.
Rather, they were under the directions of the ex-president Yaya Jammeh.
Amunta Yaya Jammeh member president ala utumu ate lafta yatanya mndrong ate kawala kamufoye katawalela.
No, lafta speed ni ndromo convoy katawala. Yes, the speed that he wants is what the convoy goes on.
Tell us the circumstances surrounding the throwing out of biscuits and T-shirts by the ex-president Jammeh. How did that happen and how did it cause accidents?
Say, nabe biskito min t-shirt lu faila accident lu kata wo wuce lu kono afonye wo mun ka sabani accident lu kaka nyabile utumo akatara wo biskito min t-shirt lu faila
akata la lori na be failan so na men fay don mol ka clean wala kan so ni kidna ma motol men be ko ma don den wol sisele dol kan. He used to stand up and be throwing them, and then people would be scrambling for them. And as they come scrambling for them, the vehicles that are behind would knock them.
So what you're saying is that he was doing this whilst the convoy was actually moving?
Amunda ikanyo foko akatara biskito lentisha ro fay kanne imundiro bita kan satara convoy do borkan
convoy katara borkan na
yes
the convoy will be moving and he will be throwing.
And what was the reaction of the public to the throwing of the biscuits and the t-shirts?
Say jamaa mo fon la jero nata ke muneti tela miroto na do biskito no t-shirt no fay ka wonya silabal wala
na ye fay kala film biskito la t-shirt wala ni karos wo fengol kanda. I think they used to want the biscuits and the t-shirts. That was why when they threw them they used to scramble for them.
Yeah, so that's the right word you used, which was scramble. So people basically would scramble over the biscuits and t-shirts and come towards the vehicles which were included in the convoy.
Amunta ko afata nyame wala mol ka ke nyo sabanoleti pour ka o biskito no t-shirt lu soto so amunta ke fay nyame wo nyo sabango wala ka sabu mol ka kidinan kana lu tombo so katara moto lu be ko mo ka ba kanan wala ka sabu moto ka dol take.
Yes.
Are you able to estimate how many accidents happened during these times?
For isa yiri kanole itela miro to ela loroto ni accident lu jelle keta wo wuce lu kono.
Combo exam and in biskito naman 20 say that a Seattle dal mon fiko ni lomor around 20 or a Seattle dal. The convoy accidents and the incidents with the biscuit throwing would be up to 20 incidents if I have not forgotten.
And what type of person would you say was more vulnerable to these kind of accidents? Were they adults or children, for example?
Ako mo sa fono mun katara accident lu kono mo fason dum Allah akake ke bala mo leti bang fo jamaja akake dindingol leti
e bele be jedal ke wal katara jele big ke wal ka big tentile dindingol belam da both categories, they were adults and they were children, all of them were victims.
And they were all scrambling for these biscuits and the t-shirts.
Munda be katara no sabang la biscuit or t-shirt or no.
Yes, after the t-shirts.
So what would happen when there's an accident typically? What would be the procedure?
Say no accident katawonya munekake e ka mun kulleke pour ka wo accident la ke wakam.
In accident keda sometimes ambulance on katara normally when ambulance drive ni wala ka normally doctor in katara ambulance on konoles plus the driver. When there is an accident, usually we had an ambulance following us, and it is always the driver who stops and the doctor who is in the ambulance would attend to the victim.
So what about the convoy? What would happen to the convoy?
So convoy do no convoy do won ka kenyadile.
Convoy bugalo de communication kakele dal there is accidents. The convoy never stops, although a communication takes place that there was an accident.
So the president would know that someone had been hit and perhaps even dead, but they would not stop. They would just continue with their mission.
Woto akakele ko president kala ko accident ketale bari nyanding ibukalo itele katentenne bari asalon ko moto mo takile
na time obeje famboda jere namnan accident wedan katara kombo kono on katara state house namna je dal kombo mo hit o mo fata atelo instant combo belo no namna happen fa. During my time in the convoy and when I was at the State House, I have never seen any instance where a convoy hit someone and the convoy stopped or he stopped there immediately.
And considering the speed at which these convoys are going, what were the nature of injuries to victims? Were they mostly fatal accidents or very serious injuries?
So mo sa fono accident akake menula ila baramul kake nyadile katu wini burba fason men kata accident ni keta atumodo do ka fale bang fodu amunda akake dole barama jawol tidro
namno karamara de namna moje men baluta jeda the ones that I am aware of instant death. I have never seen anyone that survived it because when you are hit it's instant death.
And that is because of the speed, is that correct?
Ando amunta borome inabita kamwele ka usabu fonte.
Ha, borola mkai. Yes, it's the speed.
And what about the kind of vehicles that convoy drivers usually drive?
Woto sai convoy kono mumoto fosoni le katala je menu katala convoy kono waja.
We are buffalo soto jele pickups and ngatala nyim VIP model is a V8 signal wale katarate. We have the buffaloes, pickups and the V8s.
So these are heavy-duty vehicles that would basically crush human beings.
Back at them was motor accident flow costa la bulletproof motor la kan o motor kulimbalto ben bulletproof la. Very well, because 2 accidents were caused by the bulletproof vehicle, which is a heavy-duty vehicle.
And we will come to that and you'll explain. But apart from the fatalities and the injuries to human beings, what about damage to property? Were there any instances of such?
Akombe mino na wotole bari bitunini accident loketa molu la bara molu kola ani molu la saya na fulolu molu la fengulu fo won fanal kaso le men katinya bang
na do kalamuda den kombo nyim ani one taxi driver la collapse tanu wala taxi le tinyata dal. I am aware of one in Convoy here. There was a collision with one taxi driver which led to the destruction of that vehicle.
And what would normally happen? What would the authorities do in terms of rectifying that mistake? Would they perhaps compensate the driver?
Akosa indu nyaton kuli kana muleke misal kama nino asila muleketa foi kana wodrive foi buluma sayla ba menna na fulo kasarata fulo mulekake.
Until that time, killing Peter Lamin, like advanced bita airport, one taxi dive for Lamin. But at that time, there was one incident in Lamin. Our advanced party was going to the airport and they hit one taxi. But not compensated, not a taxi in Jole. But that individual was later compensated. His vehicle was paid.
And can you give us the name of the individual who was compensated as well as the convoy driver who was involved?
For singing for ye men moto takinyo taxi driver for sa to lo ya to funyen ani convoy ni kono moto me ya taxi driver jimala be moto burundi kan
nyina da mano nyin tolal de na driver nyim fana dal ntari memba no la dal but nga isin remember la dal. I forgot the driver's name as well as our own driver, but I can recall the scene.
Was the driver whose victim was damaged a civilian or military personnel?
Driver ni menna moto tinyata civilian lomba for soldier lem.
None of the soldier but now retired. He was a soldier, but I think he retired and he was having a taxi.
And you are aware that the authorities compensated him for his damages?
And we not able to ko nyaton ko ya buluma sayle ka jo alaw moto la tinya kama.
Menti nyata jo ndefo diam ta commande. For the amount of 30,000 for jail, but not a dealer, so I think the damage, I was the one that personally spoke to the commander, and I think we gave him about 30,000 for the repairs.
Was that adequate, or it was just a token?
Amanda kulu ay siro ke le pour kala moto da ba fulu ya didi la le tenro.
I think for ko amount so kan yo be betala fela ba. He was the one that said that if he got that amount, that would be good for him.
What about other accidents that happened and perhaps other civilian drivers whose vehicles were damaged on the highway? Was this procedure applied to them?
Ako silang driver kotangulu minu civilian motobori nilalti siloka meni alanko ni accident façon ketela fodu ateo ko kilimi nyama yol fanal bu masayla bang.
A second one okada Senegal be janato then na convoy moto ni driver dole be janin taxi fulala collapsed. The second incident was in Senegal, Gambia. One of our drivers collided with 2 taxis.
Who was the driver?
Usainu Jame.
Military or civilian?
It's a military.
Okay.
So military.
Tell us what happened.
So driver in a course in Samba court. The driver took the matter to court. Another later Samana boy ni adiala. They wrote a letter and handed it to the boy. So another I attended up. He came and showed it to me. So I couldn't nobody is abogilo. He said that he was not going, but I told him that no one was above the law and that he was going. So another court start. And then the court started. So Janin court in the dismiss. But before the proceedings ended, I was dismissed.
So you don't know how that ended?
Honey. No.
So that's an instance of a matter going to court. But what about instances where the matters didn't go to court? Did the authorities compensate civilian drivers whose vehicles were damaged on the road? Do you know of any instances?
Accident dulu dama along ko mototolu ka civilian lete fesi bo akala marabang mo sitaro ko se membulu masai fodu si bo akala ma akulu nata la nyamin
Mboda nyin fulo la kalamare. These were the two incidents that I was aware of.
And as MTO, you would be aware if the State House or the government compensated members of the public in this regard.
Amunta nibe MTO to tembo nini yonketa state guards wala ni State House yo mari ni atara yebu masai ite bebula kala mane bang
Anna kira mbula kama barabuka ke. If it happened, I would have been aware, but it never happened.
Okay, very well. So it never happened.
No.
Yeah, amunta amanke.
No.
Yeah.
What about the victims who died or had serious injuries? What did the authorities do for them? Or perhaps personally, Jame, what would he do for these victims?
Say mantoro boita menukang meni along ko tatao accident kono ya mantora jawulu strategy wala menu fata wala menu baramata nyaton kono kamuneke wala kuoto wala teya jame fo akakuka tamandile wala kuoto bang
Nam amoide because now the another delegation of the Senate ibala ko la ka fanye motocar provide so accident car kita jana left delegation of Senate jela priority but namuno delegation of Kalamata State House hanna kita ma Kalamata da I was never aware because if it had happened, if a delegation was to go, I would be aware to say that, that a particular vehicle was destroyed in so and so place and the delegation was to go there. So I was not aware, even if it had happened.
I am relating this to victims and not vehicles that were damaged, actual victims who had died or were injured.
Amunda ko ni abemenu wala menu fata anin menu baramata so fo kunene kita wuli yenne ke law baramo ni wakang anin menu fata ibadu fo kunene kita wuli yenne ka kuke
Anka wala fote no wala to jabi tendal. That is what I'm saying. That was the response I gave.
Thank you very much. And apart from members of the public, civilians who were injured in these accidents, what about the convoy drivers themselves? Were there any fatalities?
Ako sai civilian ni mo koto ko la mini along ko ikamantoro soto ni accident fasondo sai convoy la moto burundi la convoy driver ni fawlu fo won fanano mo soto te ko le men ka mantoro soto wala baramo
Ha o man tram njela bo ni ngalo ne kan incident to fa lose control le be bon nan kalilai. I was in there but I know the boy he lost control as they were coming from Kalilai. Wala mo do ni boy da so what fata instant. Their vehicle fell off, somersaulted and he died instantly.
And who is this?
Forelam is a civilian driver. President Jamila Reserve Motola Burundi, one of the reserve Motola Kaola Burundi. He was Fode, a civilian driver who drove one of the Jamis reserved vehicles.
And do you know what was the reason why he lost control of the vehicle and it somersaulted and he died?
Fo salo no le bam dalile ni jumale ya sabu abe moto no Burundi kawonya fo moto nata boy ate fe fata je.
Overspeeding motor overspeeding because normal speed no kan motor the boy no la. Because if you were driving on a normal speed the vehicle will not somersault.
So some of these drivers couldn't even handle the speed at which the convoy was moving.
Amunta nyin drive fo do lu folo amunta ibuka marano boro sembola ni nyemboro be kekan convoy wala karola.
Ngawala fo jang last time ko this is what I said wala combo kono dal anything that I take motor control no. This is what I said earlier on. At the speed at which we were running, if anything happened, you wouldn't be able to control it.
So you were in personal risk of your safety and lives as drivers of the convoy.
Amunta convoy kono niba moto borindo la je itemari niyo anita fa kunola tankada ikatara silarinde wati koku ninsi keno lale convoy nkono.
Andol kay nis wulta kan fo jannimbe futala kan yo. Katara wala nyamado ni futara safely do si ala tenduda For us, we are always in that state from our take it off until we reach our destination. And when we reach there safely, we give thanks to God.
And you wouldn't have a choice to slow down, would you, whilst you're on the convoy?
So sila ndu nibe convoy kono amunta ni lafta prokela borotala ita hanyila ita anola katu albinum alnumbro mbitakan amunta ate albabur kanyam ron falbe tawonya
Wakan wala beje dal it is convoy finola ko because of some speed tala with convoy. That was the way things were. You couldn't stay behind and leave the convoy. If you do that, you'll have a problem.
And we know that the Kombo-Kanilai road was a frequent passage for the convoy, for the presidential convoy. Can you tell us the amount of accidents that happened on that road?
Yeah, no Kombo-Kanilai tema silo kai. Famu buka kawoto wate. Fensi hakilo samuta accident mimi kita silo kan fensi undulu fonye no bang.
This was the only accident that I can recall. The one where this man's vehicle somersaulted. There could have been others which I wasn't aware of.
Can you tell us the other examples that you have of accidents that either you witnessed personally as a convoy driver or you were informed as motor transport officer?
First accident don final phone nitoriel men keta misali kama brite fo do moto borindo la convoy nyin kono anin fo wato may be MT oyala ni accident don keta kana men kibaro foye fo so final do fo nyabang
na do kalamata je. Yes, I was aware of some. First incident, Lamin Saidykhan just Bijilo jam but convoy kono do la. The first incident involving Lamin Saidykhan was here in Bijilo. I was a part of that convoy.
Who was Lamin Saidykhan?
Lamin Saidykhan.
I've been driver ma be in the state house. Yes. Was a driver in the state house. Military. A military driver, and he was my subordinate.
So what happened?
So atela ko to mine keta aketa nyadile.
Atela be sweeping na. Some fotara Bijilo ma fa moto do bodana sata ko no abesele kam ma selda mano kon drong. So I know I think a bender fat so motor floor bender. He was a sweeper. So when we got to Bijilo, a vehicle came from the town and they had a collision.
And what happened to the person in the vehicle?
Our father instant data father. That individual died instantly. White lady, a white man was a European.
Did anything happen to Lamin Saidykhan?
Lamin Saidykhan fo ko kata fana nalaba.
Honey. No.
And why was that?
Wo bi mine sabu kuman katila do fata.
Ade kuman katila de. But I remember je because at lany mo American photo and Ford bale be atebul. So yindu moto ndungalam dal. Well, he did not die, but what I can recall is that he had this American Ford and this other individual was having a smaller car.
And do you know what happened to this individual? I mean, what did you do as a convoy? Did you offer him any assistance?
Akonye modo mendo motodo kono ya memfata fodu convoy ya makordi ya marila le banyado nyama
ndobe Lamin Saidykhan moto no made bring ati o keda dongo to la moto off the road so nte tambita nte be lead ngat la posono tam kata but ko mamalo men hapunde je but communication o keta la kan any president fon tambita la ya jame fon tambita la sin nto je fon so bita kam but ko ma men hapunda ko ma mawolonde. I was right behind Lamin Saidykhan's vehicle, so when this collision happened, his vehicle swerved off the road, so I came and passed and I now led. In fact, Yajame passed the scene and he saw it because there would have been communication to that effect.
Would you happen to know what happened to the white man in the end?
So for not abo kalamale muleketa motodo mole mbako no tubabo nyin.
Honey, malala budina ta kanyame ndemo. I don't know what became of that dead white lady's scalps.
Was it a white man or a white lady?
No, it's
Mkelem fokuso.
Olam, Keola.
But tubabo for
Amokolam de.
Okay.
Was a white person.
And you don't know what efforts the authorities made to compensate the family of the white man or repair any damage that was done to his car?
And say iman malong fo makor dita marila mulla le bang fo kuke akoto le bang wala fo fere kele pour kala moto nyinde da wala ka moto nyinjo iman malilo kala
no malondo na manafta wala. No, I was not aware of that.
You told us previously that usually the procedure is that the ambulance will stop and offer assistance.
Even so in commando ko nini nyon accident oketa ambulance men keta convoy local won kalo je le pour ka makor rodi amarila.
Does it happen in every instance an accident happens?
Odun akakele accident to ambulance yin kalo accident lu beto bang.
Hani abukalo accident beto. No, not only in every accident.
So what would happen to victims who are dead or injured on the road when the ambulance doesn't stop for them?
Sila mulaka ke umarilu la meni alon ko katara accident ko ni fata wala ni baramata adu ambulance man na loje pour que makoy mulaka ke wala.
Awira mol men katara surrounding o moto men katara jema mol wala ka assistant di dal. I think is the people who are around or the vehicles who are around who usually will render assistance to such victims.
So basically they would just be left to their fate.
Amunda ikawulu tutu la jele drum men ketela itelu katente netro.
Yeah, yes, mbo katara. The convoy moves on.
Can you tell us, I mean, what you felt about this convoy drivers, about the fact that victims would be left by the roadside?
Sai je nyari le semne fono woto nini nyong accident keta kamonu ke mari wulu tutu la je wonya convoy ni tambi ke tutu la je wonya yo je nyari
le combo sinoma no commanda katara je le combo commanda fana katara je will be ka officers all the buton tiol le. The commander was always there and the convoy commander was also there and they were high ranking officers.
So you just had to follow instructions to go on with the convoy.
Exactly.
Munda atreka bula la kaula no na convoy tenteng.
Ni only men order men pass the wala katang but wala buga any order pass car for stop or take care of the victim tending. So any more for that meeting. Therefore I stop no defanya wanya. Yes, that is it, and whatever orders they gave, that was what was followed. And if they did not give the order for the convoy to be stopped, the convoy would not stop.
And what was the attitude of the former President Yahya Jammeh to these accidents?
Oto sayang atamo president otumo atakamune kuta mandi wulu to nyin accident lu meni yalon ko ikaketen convoy la woboro lu kono
kebe kalam dalde any accident kita combo kono drone akita do instant drone aka kalam dala ko kom accident kita la kan. He was usually aware of all the incidents. Whatever accident takes place, he knows instantly.
Did he show any remorse?
Nini akabala faita ndile bang wala kala niku ya itandi ko nyin ketate.
Namna la comment moyo wala de ka comment radio o tenin kan. Never had any comment of his to that effect, either on radio or anywhere else.
Working with him closely, do you know if actually he cared about these victims?
Munda atel men na katata nyola ngabe do ko ke kan fudum aka hakilotu nyim monu to le bal nyim mento ra façon beta menu kan ala mira roto pour ka bala faita ndila koto.
Namna mo address de I never heard him address wala dal o ka commander address wala commander ya filter duma namna mo dal so los agzon ka siara sayam al speed limit yake then unless aliya demando namna mo I advised it cross the border. I never heard him say such a thing or even to address that kind of thing to the commander so that the information will filter through to say that since accidents are now becoming frequent, lower down your speed. I've never heard him say such a thing.
So he didn't do anything to show concern or respect for these victims?
Abunda woto sila wala mindi kwa nina mfenke wala kafo mense atefrana niku ya itandi wala ala suno itandi monu la karola meni yalonko accident keta wala la karola mantoro late kan.
Honey, I'm not kidding. No, and even if it happened, I am not aware.
And as you said, the overspeeding continued?
Ya foto nyamundu waburiba continue tala wala nyama ba.
Overspeeding follow me na bodaja woka nyobe continue kana. Overspeeding continued until when he left this place.
And he continued also to throw biscuits and t-shirts without regard to human life?
And we continue ka biskito ni t-shirt ni fay wala nyama banga bukemira harama de ni wala.
Lastly, biscuito not a stop, not a stop, and visit fire not a stop. Lastly, the throwing of the biscuits stopped.
How long did it take for it to stop?
I want to leta janina be bulala menkara biscuit fayota nin t-shirt ul.
A metal the mom made a metal kan biscuit la stop on as one day en collect na troko samba then biscuit supermarket or kan biscuit tadamento. One day I was called to take a truck to the supermarket where we used to take our supplies of biscuits from. No, not driver for them, a truck or somebody. No. It was my driver who took the truck. So, man, not have allowed stop me. Areas me is too much at any biscuit dinner like whatever for the areas Jodal. So, therefore, in called you, okay, Munang. So, so the man at the supermarket said that the areas that is owed is too much, and therefore he could not continue to supply more biscuits. So, my driver called me from there, and I told him to get back to base.
Are you saying that that's the reason he stopped throwing the biscuits?
Well, I do not know
if that was the reason why.
And usually the throwing of the biscuits, would it be just done normally in any convoy, or were there particular events that he would attend? For example, during his tours, or were there those particular events that he would go to that he would do this?
Biscuit fire. Amunda la silawo nabe tama nabe fintele wakake bang fudu watu le kasutu nabe tala tamu la wala belum la dinkral tula makanyin biscuit fayolu ke nabe fintele wanya fo aka sila juma nyoleto
nabe da most likely nabe da tola kan aning other events.
Kindly tell us what other examples you have. You've already told us about the Bijilo accident involving the white man. What other accident did you witness?
Sai ila jero to ite accident juma nyol said ye Bijilo ta nyum fo nyenne mo ko tata accident men kono fo dol fana sulun tele bangi yemen mi jawla bota men kalam
ha ni dolu mambo kalam wadon katara ne MTO ala le ni kaw fanya bot ni force wana mfa be combo kono but the rest bukatara combo kono kay inform wala. The others, I was not there. I was at the MTO. They used to tell me, but the first one, I was there. I was in the convoy.
Give us these examples. And
Sunday, we didn't can for what men imantara convoy in Fonkono.
Don't happened at Kachume. One happened at Kachume.
Please go on.
I involved soldier in Kafa Suleiman Jata. Involved in one of our soldiers called Suleiman Jata. Doing Oketa Lamin, Denton Bridge. The other one at Denton Bridge. Two happened at Denton Bridge.
Before we move on to Denton Bridge, can you tell us who Lamin Jata was and who his victim was?
Denton Bridge. Afun Jumala Lamin Jata and attending Jumala accident.
Suleiman Jata.
Suleiman Jata.
Suleiman Jata.
Suleiman Jata attending Jumala accident.
Hi, so good morning hit. He hit a girl who died.
And who was he, Lamin Jata? What position did he occupy?
At Lamin Jata, Jumala Masete and Ringa be Palace Jumal to Nutuno.
Suleiman Jata.
Suleiman Jata, sorry.
Driver Lamabena driving section. He was a driver, a soldier in our driving session.
Do you remember what position he was in the convoy when the accident occurred?
Isa haikalo samutala be Palace Jumal to convoy or convoy or damento. What were meaning accident bekela?
Hani akamodo min during the mantaraje malamoto jumalam personal be damento mawlon. No, I do not know the position of his vehicle because I wasn't there.
What about, did you hear the circumstances surrounding the accident and how it happened? And why it happened?
First, along accident ni akatalo nyadi le damento anin munan na accident ni natake.
Biscuit file ketan biscuit la faida. Yes, there was the throwing of biscuits.
And it was during this process that the child was hit.
Amunda biscuit ka fire which you kolole natanyin dinno mutake.
Okay, ha. Yes.
Are you saying that the child was attracted to the throwing of biscuits and went on the highway, or was she not on the highway?
Amunta is ibanye fokanko in biscuit fire dinno lafta biscuito le wala akende anata puka biscuito no manfo asel tasilo kan wala besla jengo la kan yatake wato men.
No, I wasn't there, so I do not know how the scenario was like.
Did the child survive?
Her father, she died.
Do you know what happened to her family?
Yeah,
Were
well,
they informed?
ala wulula lu badulu fo yalo no mun nata ke fe bondi ku kala mala bang
Honey, what of an among fellow what of another? I do not also have any information on that aspect.
And would you normally have that information if things had gone according to plan?
fo do ni misali kama nata kutamandi akuni ton accident nyin kola fo ibaki baro soton no la bang
Skeno nim delegation obotata ya o commander tata kan maybe askeno on tekbula o kalamadal. It could have been if a delegation was gone there from him or from the commander. It could have been that I would be aware of it.
So the fact that you're not aware of it means that no delegation was sent. Is that what you're saying?
No safo no ko ita manna bo fen kalama akoyin ko oto no safo ko aman delegation kiji
Askeno delegation that because dodo sifu aka imamu le delegate. It could be that the delegation went, but in instances like this, he used to make use of the imams, the mosque committee. Maybe it had but among ideas or maybe they had gone, but I don't have any idea.
You don't know?
I don't know. I don't know.
You started explaining about the incident on Denton Bridge. Can you tell us?
Not a Denton Bridge, salon into of make it out of an ya follow the purka fanyang attend out of number.
Sorry, Saro lam Denton Bridge, Saro.
Saro Denton Bridge,
Saro,
yeah,
Chorna, I'm a civilian driver. Chorna was a civilian driver.
What's his full name?
Chorna Jallo, I think Chorna Jallo. I think Chorna Jallo. His nickname Kava Papa K. His nickname is Papa K.
Continue, please.
When I more hit no bridge or of an instant death. He also hit somebody at the bridge who died instantly.
How did it happen?
Of an mantra, but I take a reserve calling bulletproof. I take over Burundis or bulletproof. I more hit you all that. I was not there, but it was in the reserve vehicle, which was a bulletproof, which was the one that hit that individual.
And how was the person hit? Was he standing on the side of the road or crossing the road, as far as you know?
Itala ngondo to accident yin kita nyadi la mari be sila jenje le kan wala lafta silo le kundula moto ya taki fo
e kabe cross kana kabe saro la oda jet karadi jet doro. They said that the individual was crossing from one side of Saro to the other, from the gate to the other side.
So it was again a case of the driver not being able to stop in time to avoid the collision.
Amunda kotake driver ni mboro membita kan amang silo sotono purkalo puru ni mari sitambi.
Yes.
Do you know who this victim was?
Ina talo ni I menta kete mo mari ni jumaleti.
For Mendy or Gomez, something like that. It's either Mendy or Gomez. I'm not too sure.
And do you know what happened to him afterwards?
No,
I did not know what happened subsequently.
You don't know whether he was picked up by the ambulance or not?
Because no, because I was not a part of that convoy. I wasn't there.
Yes. As MTO, I know that you're not part of the convoy, but you would normally receive messages from your drivers and also through the transmitter radio. That's why I'm asking.
And yeah, convo do like a communication also. Ni mantra convo kono buka communication obu coming for buka londal. No, the communication was only for those that are within the convoy, and if you were not a part of them, you did not get to hear what was being communicated.
But as MTO, you would get information about the convoy.
Ako bari libe MTO yala tumudu nika kibaro soto na convoy ila kulu lanya ni kulu munikata ni convoy besiloka.
Some of these accidents ni nada drum from the mission accident car sototale. That is why some of these accidents, when they return back from the missions, they used to tell me that so and so accidents happened on this day.
So yeah, so you are aware of the accidents that happened, and I believe in some instances, in fact, you visited the scene of the accident, which we will come to later.
ako ha wala nambe ni karola karo accident ni na ya fe ka bwa kala male andum akata ko tumudo ni accident fo tumudo ni to fo tata le dinkira ni to ka je in faye accident ni kata dinkira mendo bari mbina futala woto le nyato.
Okay.
Is that a yes or no?
Yes, I visited one scene. Yes, I visited the scene of one accident.
We will come to that later, but before we do, was that the only accident at Denton Bridge? Were there any other accidents there?
Ako fo bitu mbina woto le nyato bari accident mo kata Denton Bridge wodam man ne kata Denton Bridge sa roje bang fo accident do fanan kata leji.
Accident do fana kata le wo kan mutafa be kombo kono wasiloda. Yes, there was one other accident and I was a part of the convoy.
Tell us about it.
Yo sa yo Kenya fanan fo nyabang
Mano ni ngabe ngamra beta pick up le babula faka cross towards ferry bang bakaso le bala pick up kono. The man had a pickup truck. He had some luggages there, and he was, I think, heading towards the Barra end. So immediately after the Saro drong, a lot of side in there, but bakaso ni city kang ala moto koma je drong. So convoy moto niya trawata ni moto ni naj. After the bridge, he parked and he was trying to arrange his luggage behind and tie it properly, and that was when the convoy found him there and knocked him.
I just want to get this straight. He was parked off the road, right?
Off the road.
Amunta Maria slow bulale aloda sila jenjang okanga.
Yes,
abe moto ko mama funga ba la funga city kan moto ya tarajela.
Yes, that was where the vehicle found him. He was parked off the road.
And basically what happened was that the vehicle from the convoy collided into him, basically crushing him in between the convoy vehicle and his own vehicle.
Amunta sai ate jita la moto konole anata la moto ko mama funga abala funga city kan boto convoy moto fana yate tarawoleto ayate taki ayana la moto nakinyola.
Yes.
Exactly.
You said you were an eyewitness to that event, is that correct?
Ita funga kete nyala jele.
The bagle, but winter better don't have body injury and combo on the move like don't have body injury. Yes, I was in the convoy, although I was at the back, but when I was passing, I saw the body.
Can you tell us what that scene was like?
Afan biriyaje tumo abenyadi le mo accident in ala sangaro kete nyadi le.
Oh, was serious because I am really intense. Belly, oh, it's very serious. That was very serious. All the intestines were smashed. They were out. It was very serious.
So what was done about him by the authorities or by Yaya Jammeh, since it was a presidential convoy?
Sai nyatun ko ngata mo ke mari la karola wala Yaya Jammeh fo wayri dun president la convoy la moto ya take wonya.
After many happened to Jamana along Kotekeda. Well, what happened later I never got to know.
And who was the driver involved?
Driver Jumala moti meyo taki.
Late So, it's late now, Sergeant So. The late Sergeant So.
What about the victim? Would you happen to know his name?
No.
What other accidents can you tell us about?
This accident the
Busumbala accident. Other one, the Busumbala accident. So the same chorna van collapsed. Same chorna collided with a van.
The same Cherno Yalo you mentioned before, the civilian driver.
The civilian driver, yes. Yes, the civilian driver.
Involved in another accident.
Another accident, yes.
Tell us the circumstances surrounding that accident.
Mantra, Jani moved to the scene into a victim will move out. Well, before I got to the scene, the victims were already evacuated, and I only found the 2 vehicles on the scene.
So this was an instance where you visited the scene of the accident?
Yes, I went there to see the scene.
So what happened to those 2 victims?
No malong after men not killed. I don't know what happened to them after. Therefore, I did not find anyone at the scene. I only found the vehicles.
And would you happen to know the name of the victims?
ako sai mantoro lata menu kam menu baramata je wala kuketela je umu fanan tolo
hani tolo fo nyejelde but it was one time minute to lalda. No, they told me their names at the spot there, but it's been a long time and I have forgotten.
And I have also told you that our investigations revealed that there was an accident by the presidential convoy involving 3 siblings from the same family.
Yes.
And you couldn't tell me whether or not this was the case.
And the accident do fana kumufu many alonko dame yalonko mo saba many bebota dimbaya kilinin kono ul fana la ko na dia mo futa tele jele bidin imanna ko ndimma akoni ketanyamen
nga fa nka mambo kalama fera fo wa interest system ko na fama mambo kalama dal. I told you I was not aware of that. I'm not sure what year it was, whether it found me in the system or not.
Thank you. And this vehicle that was hit by Cherno Jallo, can you tell us what kind of vehicle it was?
Cherno Jallo ya takiteng. Mu fason nemu?
Passenger van, 14-seater. It was a passenger van, a 14-seater.
So apart from the victims who died, there's a possibility that there were other passengers on board that vehicle.
As misal kama menu fata wala kukola asikeno mulolo moto yinko meni alonko ulmanfa.
Yes. There could be some people who did not die.
But looking at the state of the vehicle, would those people be injured?
Akubari ni accident ni juba katanyeni moto ni tinyata nyeni. Utomuldo sulu jele meni alonko hani manfa bari si barama.
Serious. Yes, that would be the case because the accident was serious.
And here again, would you happen to know what happened in the end since you visited the scene?
Jamkoto ke malon foisa lo muni nata ke akuyin kuala wairi front ata dinkrani kumbabo so akuala fo manalo munkule tamata je
hanide manalo men tamata je. No, I did not know what happened afterwards.
What about to Cherno Jallo? This is the second accident he's being involved in. Did anything happen to him?
Cherno Jallo fano kulodun ni mala accident fulan jamati fo manalo fo kusike afangla bangwala yala kula nyame.
After that command, I'm going to stop like convoy driving. So at the convoy drive, so commander not go ahead. It was after these incidents that I went to the commander and told him that I am going to remove him from the convoy driving. He's no longer going to drive as a convoy driver. And he said to me, okay, carry on.
And he was driving this same bulletproof reserve vehicle, is that correct?
Bulletproof motor le memory reserve motor ti bole bore kamba
exam flow in these 2 accidents he had that vehicle.
He must have felt quite invincible driving a bulletproof vehicle.
Amunta akatele ko atamumole ti meyalonko abedamento kuta keno la miro to waira abe moto faso la kono
wala keda dal hanis police statement fang buga obtain fang or that was the case. Even a police statement, they never got give a statement to the police.
Any other examples of accidents you witnessed?
For accident si sotole bang meyalan ko si bo kalama isa man fo nonye.
Last one wala keda na outrider boy into Nyas. The last one involved our outrider called Nyas. Take a ability sweep can so he was sweeping for the first lady. Collapsed. A vehicle came the other way and they had a collision. So I jumped a motor commodore. So I waited to do another father. He jumped behind the vehicle and when he fell, he died.
You mean he somersaulted?
Somersaulted.
Across
he somersaulted over the other vehicle, and when the vehicle landed. So until I sweep until body so at that time I was following him, so I stopped, took his body. The moment the branch on convoy in terminal straight so when I took a bend, the convoy passed.
What eventually happened to him?
He died. Father instant. He died instantly.
And he was walking directly under you. Do you know what the authorities did to compensate his family?
Amantarante ko directly, outriders le. He was not under me directly. He was under the outriders. Yes, part of the state guard.
Which was part of the state guards.
Although state guard le funeral nyimbe accord atara body phone state guard le funeral nyimbe process keda.
Although the state guard took care of the entire funeral process when he was being buried in Kronyi.
And this was the second accident that you witnessed involving members of the convoy.
Accident convoy
You
Yes.
told us about 4-day.
4-day.
And then now you've told us about this particular individual.
And outriders more full them. The second person woman traje but often other outriders often the collapse after.
There was another accident involving another outrider. He also collided with a vehicle and he also died instantly.
And who was that?
Jumala Moti?
It's Bamba. I don't know the surname, but it's a Bamba.
His name is Bamba, but I do not know the surname.
Was that whilst you were convoy driver or MTO?
No, that was ladies convoy. I was not there. Lady convoy.
That was the first ladies convoy, and I was not in it.
I know that you're not very good with the dates, but is it possible that you would remember around what time this happened?
Hakilo buka lulu mutabake barbitu fo hakilo si aitandina wo accident kita lulu wala karomeng.
Honey, all can metal more than 10 years no.
No, those incidences happened a long time, more than 10 years.
And what about Nyasi? What was his first name?
Nyasi bi ya tolo nabang.
I think it's Modu Nyasi.
I think it's Modu Nyasi.
And you've told us that that was the final one, but
yes.
If I can just remind you of an incident in Kotu. Can you remember the circumstances around that accident?
Yeah, for Kola Milabauti, but we don't hakilo bula kudo la menkata in Kotu. For hakilo subula no falan nabang.
Kotu. No.
Involving one Usainu Jamme?
Usainu Jamme Trrc accident in Kono.
So I remember all of them collapsed, but now I remember that.
What I remember about Hussein was when he had a collision with another vehicle.
Mantra system but the
others I'm not aware. I wasn't in the system.
There was another accident at Trrc Lamin. Can you remember?
Accident of Trrc Lamin. For hakilo bulaba.
No, remember.
Yes, I remember that one.
Please tell us about it.
A delegation or from different part of the delegation or motor delegation. Then imamo letara fenge ya jamme express la broda nyina futu store ngansu jamme.
At that time I was given a vehicle and I led it. I was in a delegation when we went to the marriage of Yaya Jamme's brother Ansu Jamme.
Kauru.
Kauru, you mean?
Kauru, yes, Kauru.
And Ansu, is that short for a particular name?
Ansu, amunta ile tole kuntu nyabang atu Ansu ka futandi ka fanyadi.
Ansu Jamme lamde ala brother ni.
I think it's
Ansumana Jamme.
I think it's Ansumana Jamme, his brother.
So there was a convoy that was created.
Amunta we motole parendi mani fanal tata auto.
Among the actual convoy into just motor dantan nam drong plus nimfengele late Malafi.
It was not a convoy, it was just a number of vehicles and we went with the late Malafi.
So Malafi be sweeping na la motor ni wate be sweeping na kamol sweep down.
Malafi was the one acting as a sweeper with his vehicle.
Would you have a sweeper without a convoy, Mr. Saidykhan?
For Saidykhan, for motol jamal be bulari nyoma, mumba ko nyomo. For we can sweep for also the bani bitala wasla fazonkan.
No, sweep to ya definitely ala motor use as sweeper dal.
No, there was
no
sweeper, but he used his vehicle and acted as a sweeper.
Was that lawful, or was it according to normal procedure?
No.
Okay, please tell us what happened.
So
Jalim beduna das dong ole kono je dong ay sweep je dong ani mo sudden benda do panita o silo